Okay, na? So in our today's class, we are going to discuss about pressure and transmission of pressure. Okay, so what is meant by pressure and how it was derived, and we are going to discuss about the transmission of pressure. So the pressure, how it was transmitted. Okay, so before going to start this particular topic, actually, we need to know about the scientist who invented Pascal's law. Okay, so the name of the scientist is Blaise Pascal. So he's a French mathematician and a physicist, and also inventor and also a writer. So he studied about pressure in 1623. So that is how the Pascal's law has been derived. Okay, so we know this Pascal's law very well from our school days onwards. For example, if you immerse any substance into the fluid medium, okay, so the fluid pressure will act on the substance equally on all the surfaces. Okay, so the surfaces like for example, so you can view this tank. Okay, so this tank is fully filled with fluids, so we can consider it as a water. Okay, so this particular fluid medium is having a pressure because it is a incompressible fluid. So liquid is an incompressible fluid. We know that very well. So due to that incompressible condition, pressure will act on all the surfaces equally. Like common equal pressure will act on all the surface of this tank. And also, if you dip any substance like this particular particular this cube, it will have six faces, and the same kind of pressure that is acting on this wall will act on this particular surfaces also. So here the pressure is common in all the surfaces, and also with that it will be perpendicular to the wall plane. For example, if you are having a wall with an angle of 90 degree, so you can consider it as 90 degree. So you'll be having a pressure force acting on this wall that will be horizontal, because this wall is vertical. So the pressure force will be in the horizontal position. So it is perpendicular to the surface. And also with that, here we are having a cube. Okay, so here we are having a cube, so it is having six faces. So if a pressure is acting on this cube, so it will be perpendicular to the face. For example, this one is a vertical face, right? So you'll be having a pressure force acting on the surface that will be perpendicular to this face. Similarly, if it is a horizontal face, you'll be having a vertical pressure. If it is a vertical face, you'll be having a horizontal pressure. So that is what the principle described by Pascal's. Okay. Similarly, just a minute. So now we are having another one more example for this Pascal's law. So you can take a water can, okay, 1 liter of water can, and also with it you are filling the particular 1 liter with the water. So the 1 liter water is fully filled with water. So normally you know that it is having a different profile, right? So some phases it will have a vertical surfaces, some phases it will have a irregular surfaces like this, and also in some phases it will have a inclined phases. So if a particular water bottle is kept normal condition, the pressure force acting on this surface will be equal. For example, if you take this particular point, we can consider this here. The pressure is acting at 0.1 pascals. The same pressure will be acting on the surface also. So there will not be any changes in the pressure. Please remember one thing. This particular law will be applicable only for the fluid at same condition. Sorry, same temperature. So if the temperature is constant on the fluid tank, so the pressure acting on all the surfaces will be equal. Similarly, if you take any sea, like it will have some kilometers depth. Okay, so you can take a sea like this. Okay, so please consider this particular square as a sea. So it is having a 1.5 kilometer depth. Okay, so if you take these kind of principles, so this particular surface will have a temperature of the outer surface will have a temperature of 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Similarly, if you go inner to this, for example, if you are moving if you are moving, if you are at 1 kilometer depth. So the temperature at this place will be very minimum. Okay, so due to that, it will have a high pressure. So it will have a high pressure. We can't able to withstand a particular pressure. That is why we can't able to go up to a particular limit. I think it will be 20 feet. I think so. If we are moving more than 24, we will lose our consciousness because of the okay. And if the temperature is very low, similarly, we will have a very high pressure. But in these conditions, it is just a 1 liter of tank, so it will have a uniform pressure on the all the surface, and also it will be uh, perpendicular to the surface. For example, look at here. Look at this particular inclined surface. So this one is inclined. Similarly, for example, if it is 30 degree, if it is 60-degree inclination, this particular pressure acting on this surface will be having 30 degree. So if it is 45 degree, similarly, the angle of pressure will be also 45 degree. And in the second picture, you can able to see that you are applying a force on this particular water bottle. Okay. So if you're applying a particular force on this water bottle, due to that, there will be a deformation happens at the outside of this water bottle. So we know that very well. Pressure is equal to force by area. So that is what the basic formula. So what is the meaning of this formula? So what is the meaning of this formula? If the force increases, there will be an increase in the pressure. So now look at here. In our first diagram, we are having a force. We are having a pressure force. Like it is surrounded with the atmospheric air. So atmosphere is at a particular pressure, right? So normally we are having a normal pressure on this outer surfaces, but in this particular place we are applying somewhat we are increasing the force. So due to that, there will be an increase in the pressure, and also with that, the same pressure will act on all the surfaces perpendicularly. So this is what Pascal's law. Can you understand my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So any doubt in this? Anybody? Okay. So I think there is no doubt. So that is what I explained here. So if you are increasing the pressure, there will be an increase in the so if you are increasing the force, there will be an increase in the pressure, and also with that, it will be transmitted equally to the all parts of the container. Okay, and also with that, the pressure angle will be perpendicular to the surface of the container. So that is what my explanation on this definition. Okay. So now we are moving to the Pascal's law. So we are going to discuss, we are going to see the definition of this Pascal's law. So now we have seen uh, the explanation of Pascal's law. Okay, I will read the definition first. So Pascal's states that whenever any pressure is applied to any part of the boundary of a confined fluid, it is transmitted equally. So that is what we have discussed, and also in all directions, irrespective of the area on which it acts. Okay, and always act at right angle to the surface. So always act at right angle. So that is what I explained. It will have a perpendicular angle to the surface. Okay, so this is how you have to write the definition of Pascal's law. So the diagram is it here. So in this place we are having a different profile of tank. Okay, in this here we are having a different profile of tank. So look at this pressure force. So it is acting right angle to the surface. So if you take this surface, it is acting exactly at 90 degree. Similarly, if you take this surface, it is acting exactly at 90 degree. Similarly, if you take this surface, it will act exactly at 90 degree. So whatever may be the surface angle, it will act right angle to the surface. Okay. And the Pascal's law will be called as a principle of transmission of fluid pressure. So it is the other name of Pascal's law. So it will be called it as principle of transmission of fluid pressure. Okay. So in this picture, you can able to see that there is a balloon. You can take, you can consider this particular yellow structure as a balloon. Okay, so you are going to put a hole on this balloon in different places. Okay, and also with that it is filled with the water. Okay, so if you are keeping this balloon in normal position, the water will try to come out from this balloon because of the inside pressure. Okay, so if you take any hole, it will have a equal amount of water that is coming out from the particular hole. Okay, it will have a equal amount of water. So if you are applying a normal force, and after that you are trying to press this balloon, that means you are increasing the force, so that you can able to see that there will be a increase in the pressure that is coming out from this balloon. Okay, and also it will act uniformly. For example, if you are measuring this particular distance, if you are measuring this particular distance, it will be equal to this particular distance. Okay, so that means it is having a equal pressure on all the holes. Okay, and also with that you have studied about different diagrams in your school days. Now we are going to see the derivation for this Pascal's law. So please don't think about whether it is a different whether it is a difficult one. It is a very very simple one. Okay, please look at the second picture. Okay, so this is we are going to discuss about problems regarding this kind of pictures. So from the construction point, we are having two cylinders. So this is first cylinder and this one is second cylinder. So these two cylinders are coupled with a common pipe. So that means the pressure, the inside pressure of this cylinder is equal to this particular pipe pressure, and also it is equal to this pressure. Okay, so here the pressure is common in these two cylinders and also in the pipe, because it is connected with a single pipe. So there is no door at this places. So that means it is fully open. So here also and also here, where it is a open condition. Okay, so here we are having a piston, and also here we are having a piston like this. Okay, so if you are applying pressure on, so it will, okay, so we are having two cylinders. So if you are applying a pressure force on this first piston, so the second piston will move opposite to the first piston, and also there will be a particular amount of force will be applied on the second piston. If you know the first force, that means if you know the value of F1, you can able to find the value of F2 with the help of this particular arrangement, because here the pressure is common. Okay, so we are going to use this particular formula for our problems. So this formula has been derived from the basic pressure formula. So what is the basic pressure formula? So pressure is equal to force divided by area, right? Force divided by area. So here this area is a area of this cylinder, or else you can consider it as area of the piston, because the cylinder area is equal to the piston area. Okay, so this is what our common basic formula. In this particular application, the pressure acting on this first cylinder and the pressure acting on the second cylinder and also the pressure acting on this particular pipe is equal, so that P1 is equal to P2. So if you are keeping this particular cylinder as 1 and if you are keeping this particular cylinder as 2, P1 is equal to P2. That means F1 divided by A1 is equal to F2 divided by A2. Okay, F1 divided by A1 is equal to F2 divided by A2. So in our problems, they will provide three values, like they will be providing F1, A1 and A2 values. So you have to find the value of F2. So we are going to see an application oriented problem on this particular topic. Okay, similarly look at this third picture. Here we are having a water tank. Okay, and also it is connected with the cylinder. So we are going to apply a force with the help of this piston to this tank. Okay, so this tank is having different holes. Okay, look at here. So these are all holes. Okay, so this particular tank is having different holes. So you are going to apply a pressure with the help of this piston towards this tank. So that means the water coming out from these holes uh, with the equal amount, and also the pressure that is coming out from the tank is equal in all the holes. Okay. So any doubts? Okay. No? So applications of Pascal's law. Okay. So where the Pascal's law is applicable. So you can able to see this. So it is application oriented picture. So where it is used. So this particular picture is used in many places. So can you see any one example?
Workshop.
Workshops, particularly water service mechanisms. ஸோ நீங்கள் காரையோ இல்லை பைக்கையோ வாட்டர் சர்வீஸ் பண்ண கொண்டு போனீங்கன்னா இந்த மாதிரி அப்ளிகேஷன் தான் பார்ப்போம். ஓகே. Similarly, it will be applicable in weighbridge also to measure the weight of the particular vehicle. So it is used. Okay. So we are having the same picture like we have discussed in our previous slide. So look at this. So this particular picture is equal to this particular picture. So here we are having a piston. So it is measured with the area of A1. Similarly, here we are having another piston. It is measured with the area 2. Okay. So the pressure acting on this particular tank is equal in all the places. Okay. So you are going to apply a pressure on the first, you are going to apply a force on this first piston so that there will be an increase in the height of second piston. Okay, there will be an increase in the height of second piston. So with the help of this application, you can able to lift a vehicle. You can able to lift a vehicle. So like it is used in forklifts and car lifts. So similarly, etc. We can able to say that in way bridges also. So you have to use this particular formula to find the force that is required to lift the vehicle. So it is a very, very simple formula. You don't have to worry about things because it is very, very simple formula. If you look at the problem, you may feel that it is a very difficult one because it is application oriented thing. Okay. And the second one, it is used in hydraulic jack. So if you want to lift any heavy loads, you can able to use this hydraulic jack. So this is what the internal construction. So this particular second diagram is the internal construction of this hydraulic jack. So if you use this handle, like if you are moving this handle front and back, there is a sump available here. It is filled with the oil. Okay. And also here you can able to see the cylinder. Okay. So if you move this handle in the front portion, the cylinder will come back so that the piston will come back so that the oil will be filled in this particular place. And also if you are moving this handle in the opposite direction, the oil filled in this particular place will be moved to these places so that there will be an increase in this particular point. So with the help of this, you can able to lift a heavy load. Similarly, it is used in a hydraulic braking systems. So look at here. Here also we are having a tank like this. Okay, it is a tank. Sorry. Actually, it is not a first tank. The fluid will come from these places. So if you are applying a pressure to this brake pedal, the oil filled in these places will directly supply to this particular place. So that here also we are having a piston, so it will try to move towards outside direction so that this particular brake shoe will try to reduce the speed. Okay, so this is how the hydraulic braking system works. So we are going to apply a fresh force on this pedal. Okay, so that the oil filled in this place will try to move to this cylinder. So this is why this is the first cylinder and this one is the second cylinder. Okay, so due to that, you can able to find the force required to apply a brake. Okay, so here the force applied here is F2. Similarly, the force applied here is F1. Okay, so you can able to measure the force required to stop the vehicle with the help of this particular simple formula. Okay, similarly, like hydraulic pump. So if you want to lift a hydraulic, so you can able to find the values. So both are equal. So diagram that's different are இருக்கு, but the working basic principle is common for all these four applications. So it is a sample. I can't able to explain all the applications because we are having a plenty of applications for Pascal's law. So I am just taking the basic important principles. Okay. So based on these principles, we are going to solve a problem. Okay. So the first problem, so we are going to see the force required to lift this bus. Okay. So look at this picture. We are having a first cylinder, and this one is the second cylinder. Similarly, this will be called it as first piston, and this will be called it as second piston. So above the second piston, we are having a vehicle called bus. Okay. So do you want to lift this bus? You need to apply a particular amount of force to the first piston. Okay. So with this kind of diagram, we can able to measure the force required to lift the bus, or else we can able to find the uh, F2 also. Okay. So we're going to see the problem. So I'm going to dictate the problem first. A bus is kept on a hydraulic lift. Okay. So this one is hydraulic lift as shown in figure. Okay. A large piston B in a hydraulic lift has a radius of 250 centimeter. So we know the radius of this, that means R2 of this particular piston. So the value of R2 is 250 centimeter. Okay. So what force must be applied to the small piston A? So this one is small piston A. So what force must be applied to the small piston A with a radius of 25 centimeter? So the value of R1, that is 25 centimeter. So in order to raise a bus of mass 1500 kg, so the mass of this particular vehicle is 1500 kg. So mass of this vehicle is 1500 kg. So it is a Paka application oriented problem. Okay. So in this diagram, you are having a value of R1, and also you are having a value of R2, and you are having a value of mass of the vehicle. Okay. So what is the formula that we can able to use this? The formula is F1 by A1 is equal to F2 by A2. Okay. So actually what we want to find, the what force must be applied to the small piston. So that means we have to find the value of F1, or else we can consider it as FA. Okay. So you can consider it as FA. So the formula is F1 divided by A1 is equal to F2 divided by A2. So it is a basic formula. So you can able to find the area of the piston with the help of this formula. So the area of piston, so it is in the circular shape. Okay. So it is in the circular shape. The area of the piston is pi by 4 d square, or else you can use it as pi r square. So both are equal. So here we are having the value of radius. Okay. So the radius is available. So you don't have to convert this radius into diameter, so that you can use pi r square. So with the help of this formula, you can able to find the value of A1, and also you can able to find the value of A2. So that these two values will be available. Actually, you have to find this particular force, right? So you need to find the value of F2. So the F2 is needed for this problem. So the basic formula for force is that mass into acceleration due to gravity. So you know the value of mass, so mass of the vehicle. So you can apply this mass in this place, so you can able to find the value of F2. Okay. So what is the value of F2? So first find the value of F2, A1 and A2. So tell me the answers. So what is the value of A1? Now what is the value of A1?
$19,625, sir.
19,625 unit. Now unit
Centimeter square, sir.
centimeter square. Okay. Similarly, what is the value of A2? So the value of A1 is 19,625 centimeter square. So the value of A2,
Sir, 196.34 into 10 to the power 3.
196
0.34.
or 6.34, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 196.34 into 10 to the power 3. Okay. So the value of F2, so that means 1500 into 9.81.
14715.
14715. Okay. So these three values are available. Okay. So now you can apply these three values into this formula. So you can able to find the value of force required to force applied on this first piston. Okay. So this is what the procedure. You can able to find the force required to lift this bus with a mass of 1500 kilograms. So what is the answer? What is the value of F? Can I just apply these three values? That's it. One.
So 147.15.
144 point.
15, sir.
But the answer is 147. I think
So
you have
147th.
okay. So the normally you are doing a mistake of you mistake with the points. Okay, look at here. It will be in somewhat points. So 1471 point, 14715 point, some value. So you'll be having some value on this place. So you have to use the values also. So if you do that, you'll be getting a proper answer. The answer is 147.15 Newton. So if you are applying 147.15 Newton on this place, you can able to lift this particular vehicle. It is having a mass of 1500 kg. ஸோ இந்த ப்ராப்ளமை ஜஸ்ட் நீங்கள் வந்து ரீட் பண்ணி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நீங்கள் என்ன ஃபீல் பண்ணுவீங்கன்னா ஸோ இது ஒரு அப்ளிகேஷன் ஓரியன்ட் எப்படி நம்மளால் ஒரு ஃபோர்ஸை கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியும்னு நீங்கள் திங்க் பண்ணுவீங்க பட் த ஃபார்முலா யூஸ்ட் ஹியர் இஸ் வெரி வெரி சிம்பிள் யூ நீட் ஜஸ்ட் அ த்ரீ வேல்யூஸ் ஸோ இஃப் யூ ஃபைண்ட் these த்ரீ வேல்யூஸ் யூ கேன் ஏபிள் டு ஃபைண்ட் த ஃபோர்ஸ் required டு lift this vehicle. Okay, so any doubt? Do you have any doubts? Okay, no doubts. So the basic doubt will be having that Why we are not converting these units? Like it is in centimeter. So R1 is in, sorry, R2 is in 250 centimeter, and also R1 is 25 centimeter. So both are in same unit. Okay, so you are going to apply R1 here, and also you are going to apply R2 here. Okay, so these two units will be get cancelled, so that you don't have to do the unit conversion. So don't spend unwanted times on these unit conversion if the unit is in common format. நார்மலாக மீட்டருக்கு தானே மாற்றணும்னு சொல்லுவீங்க, ஏன் இங்கே மாற்றலைன்னு கேட்கலாம். பிகாஸ் both the units, both the values are in common units, so that we don't have to do the unit conversion. Okay, so shall I move to the next problem?
Yes, sir.
Second problem. So here we are not having a question. So you will not have a question. So instead of that, you are having a picture. So this is what the problem. Okay, so this is what the problem. There is no wording on this problem. Okay, so can anyone explain this problem? Because I have explained the structure with our previous diagram. Okay, so that you have to frame the problem. Someone explain? So if you want to explain in Tamil also, you can do it. There is not a problem. இப்போ யாருக்குமே எதுவும் புரியலையா? கண்ணா, நான் சொன்னது புரிஞ்சிருந்தா யார் வேணாலும் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணலாம்ப்பா. I think no one is going to explain. Okay, so the condition is that you have to find the two cylinders. So where are the two cylinders in this picture? We have to find the two cylinders from this picture. So what is the first cylinder?
Pedal cylinder, sir.
Yes, pedal cylinder. Okay, so this one is the first cylinder. That means this particular one. Okay, this is our first cylinder. The second one, what is the second cylinder?
Wheel cylinder, sir.
Wheel cylinder. So this is our second cylinder. Okay, as like our previous problem, we are going to find the force. Okay, so we found the two cylinders, so it is connected with the common pipe, so that the pressure applying inside the first cylinder is equal to the pressure applied on the second cylinder. So that we are going to use the basic formula, that is called F1 divided by A1 is equal to F2 divided by A2. So look at here, a person is applying a 100 Newton of force to this pedal, so that this is our F1. So here we are applying the F1. So the F1 value is available, that is 100 Newton. Similarly, you know the diameter of the first cylinder. So look at here, the diameter of the first cylinder, that is 0.5 centimeter. Similarly, the diameter of the second cylinder is also available. It is 2.5 centimeter. Okay, so that you need a value. Actually, you are having a value of D1, and also you are having a value of D2, and also you are having a value of F1. So what is the value that we have to find? என்ன கண்டுபிடிக்கணும்?
F2.
F2. So we have to find the value of F2, particularly the force required to apply on this brake shoe. So this is what our brake shoe, right? So the force applied on this brake shoe need to be found with the help of this picture. So you can able to find the area value with the help of D1, and also you can able to find the diameter value with the help of you have to find the A2 value with the help of this diameter. So if you find that, you can able to find the value of F2. So what is the value? What is the value of F2? Try to solve this problem. So the formula used here is F1 divided by A1 is equal to F2 divided by A2. So find the value of F2. What is the value of F2? And don't take too much time because it is a very, very simple calculation. You don't have to multiply with pi by 4 for finding the area. You can directly apply it here. So here you will be having a pi by 4 and also here you will be having a pi by 4. So both will get cancelled. So you don't have to multiply with pi by 4. You can directly use it here as d1 square and here as d2 square. And the value of F1 is available, that is 100 Newton. Then there is no need of this kind of times. Similarly, the unit also is common for diameter 1 and diameter 2, it is centimeter. So you don't have to do the unit conversion. Just do it 100 into 2.5 square divided by 0.5 square. That is what the calculation. What is the answer?
So 500.
500 Newton.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, so we have to, I will show you the procedure because we have to find the F2 value. So F1 is equal to F. So that is what I mentioned. So the formula that is F1 divided by A1 is equal to F2 divided by A2, and the formula for area is pi by 4 d square. So here the diameter value is available. So you can use this particular formula. Newton kana. Please check your answer. It is 2500 Newton.
Yes, sir. It was correct.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. 2,500, sir.
2500.
Okay. So just look at the previous condition before solving this problem. So வெறும் ஒரு diagram மட்டும் தான் இருக்கு. உங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு ஈஸியான சொல்யூஷன் கிடைச்சிடும். Okay, so just applying a basic principle of Pascal's law. Okay, so do you have any doubts? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Shall I move the next slide?
Yes, sir.
So from this slide onwards, actually we'll be discussing the next law, that is called hydrostatic law. Okay, so we will discuss about this hydrostatic law in our next class because it is a new one. We will start from our next class. So before going to attend the next class, please try to know what is about what is called hydrostatic law and where it is applied. Okay, so hydrostatic law na enna enga apply ஆகுதுன்னு மட்டும் தெரிஞ்சுட்டு வாங்க.